Not a Mets-related question. It is maybe a playoff-related question because maybe one of the best players to ever play in anything, whether it's playoff or whatever. Unfortunately, Pete Rose passed away yesterday, age 83. Question, Baldface Live, Baldface Truth, to you, Sal Licata. Pete Rose will make the Hall of Fame before Barry Bonds.
I don't think he's getting in, so it's a bald-faced lie. I do not think Pete Rose is ever going to get in the Hall of Fame. Bond's not. It doesn't really matter. Is he going to get in or not? And also, BT, remember, with Pete Rose passing, and we talking about Pete Rose recently.
I know.
Watched that special on Max or whatever it is, and I loved Pete Rose as a player. Matter of fact, I went to Cincinnati to see them unveil the statue of Pete Rose. It was the one time I went to check out that ballpark. So I like the history. I don't think he's or I don't think he was a good person. We've talked about this. His biggest fear was getting into the Hall of Fame after he died.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
And now no matter what, even if he does get in, obviously he's not going to be around to see it. So to me, it's case closed. Like Pete Rose and the Hall of Fame, it doesn't matter anymore because he's dead.
Well, it matters to his kids, matters to his family.
Yeah, but do you think they would even want it? Or you think that Pete
I can't answer that.
Well, because Pete himself said he didn't, he wanted it while he was alive. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they don't put him in, though. So I'm going to say it's a bald face. I forget which one it was, but he's not getting in.
I believe eventually he's going to get in, which is really, yeah, it's unfair. I mean, at this point, it's just, Pete is
such a slap in the face if he gets in now. He's
a complex figure, man. I've interviewed Pete twice. He is very complicated, very dark with certain things. I also think, and first and foremost, rest in peace.
Yep.
But I think he was overrated. I know that's not a very popular opinion today.
I'm shocked that you say that.
Well, if Pete Rose was playing today with no power, how's he perceived?
He probably wouldn't be in the big leagues. Charlie Hustle doesn't make it because of the analytics,
Okay,
but he's an all-time hits leader in the sport.
I understand that. There's something to be said for longevity. He's great. I just, when I think of, pure hitters, the greatest pure hitters, I think of, obviously, Ted Williams and Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs and Ichiro and Rod Carew and Healthy Mattingly pre-back and, Miggy Cabrera and Pujols and some of these righties that hit 330, 340. I don't think of Pete Rose. Now, Pete's the ultimate gamer, and he's a champion, and he's a legendary baseball figure.
Nobody's coming close to the hit total either.
I agree, but I don't associate the compilation of numbers as the greatest. Yes, he literally has the most hits.
Right.
I never thought he was one of the greatest players of all time.
He did win an MVP.
I understand. His OPS is under 800.
Yeah. What is it?
790.
What was career batting average?
303.
Yeah. Well,
it's not against 330.
He
had no home runs.
Played 24 years.
Dude, he had no home runs.
To hit 300 for
Didn't
playing
steal
24
bases.
years?
I'm just saying, if Pete Rose was playing today, right, and he hit 303 with 9 home runs, because that's basically what he averaged. He averaged 7 home runs over the course of the season with 60 RBIs. What kind of player is he? It's not to disparage him, but it's to contextualize. That's just my opinion.
He's not a power.
I can name 30 players who are better than Pete Rose. They're really good. Maybe 50.
He's not a power guy. That's not his strength.
I understand. I mean, George Brett, better. Cal Ripken, better. Derek Jeter, better.
I don't think Cal Ripken was a better player than Pete Rose. Cal Ripken was not a better player than Pete Rose. No way.
Yes, he was.
No
He played a better
way.
He played a more important position.
No
He had power.
way. He was just... Cal Ripken was good. I'm not trying to knock Cal Ripken.
No, you're not.
I
Listen,
think
we
Pete
see
Rose
it
is a better
differently.
player. I'm shocked that you would say that.
Why? I've always thought this about Pete. I've always thought that Pete Rose was overrated. Just because you play longer than anybody... I don't want to gloss over the actual sheer amount of hits. It's a massive amount. And he's the all-time hits leader. I don't think he's one of the best players of all time.
He led the league in hits 1, 2, 3, 4,
so did Wade
5,
Boggs.
6, 7 times.
So did Wade Boggs.
Oh.
How is Pete Rose better than Wade Boggs?
I mean, I'm not saying he's better than Boggs. I said he's better than Cal Ripken, but...
How is he better than Carew? Yeah. Rogers Hornsby, Ty Cobb.
Ah, God.
Come on.
Charlie Hustle.
Okay, so the nickname's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great nickname.
It's
got the best nickname of all time.
It's not a nickname. It's what he did. I mean,
come on. He also slid head first, but he didn't have to. Come on.
I mean, the guy wanted. What do you mean? Wanted to play hard.
So why is he Charlie Hustle? Because he sprinted down to first base after a walk and he slid into third base when there was no throw?
He was an MVP, a World
many?
Series MVP.
Okay.
He was a 17-time All-Star.
I understand that.
Rookie of the Year.
Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Babe Ruth,
Won the
Stan
batting
Musial,
title
Tris
3
Speaker,
times. Silver
stop.
Slugger. I mean,
Frank Robinson, Sal.
How he's overrated.
He is.
I just don't get it.
He's
Now,
overrated.
where you would put him in...
He's not even in my top 30 position players. Bonds. I mean, I could just
Bonds
rattle
are
off name after name.
Yeah. These guys,
Trout.
I'd like to compare it and actually take a deep dive at some
Ohtani,
point.
Judge.
Oh, God. Mike Trout, please.
Come on.
Oh, come
He's a
on.
singles hitter.
He's a hitter. He's a
slap
player.
hitter.
He's a ball player.
A slap hitter.
Ah, God. I mean, he played baseball as well as anybody that played baseball. I'm
I
shocked.
didn't think he was the best player on his team. I think Bench and Morgan were both better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but nobody in the sport who's ever played has more hits than
I
Pete
understand
Rose.
that. He's the all-time hits leader.
And it's the name
Not
of the
best
game,
player.
hitting the baseball. I mean, he was,
DiMaggio.
Yeah.
There's a million players better than him.
I get it, but it doesn't mean
I don't think you do.
doesn't mean that he's overrated.
I think it does. Because I think there's an association with just because you do this, it means you're that. And for me, it doesn't.
But what more would you
He
want to see?
wasn't a great fielder.
Okay, wait, but MVP check.
How many?
1.
Okay.
3 World Series wins.
Understood.
Silver Slugger. 3-time
How
batting.
many Silver Sluggers?
1.
About one.
I think
He
so,
played
yeah.
20 years.
3-time batting title.
Okay, Wade Boggs had 6.
World Series MVP.
Fantastic.
2-time Gold Glove winner. 17-time
2-time
All-Star.
Gold Glove. Come on, Sal.
17-time All-Star. I'm just saying, like, what more do you want?
How about, I mean, if you want to be one of the best, how about 7 Silver Sluggers? How about 9 Gold Gloves? How about 3 MVPs?
He checked
like
box
the
on all.
old-timers.
He led the league in hits 7
I
times. That's
understand what he did. See, I've thought about this for a long time, and I hate that today's the day to have the day. But, Pete is to have this conversation. But Pete is a complex figure who brought this upon himself. He just wasn't a good guy.
Well, that's a different
just because
argument.
somebody dies, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, he was a fantastic human being.
Well, nobody's saying that.
I understand
you said
you're
he's
not.
an underrated
No, I
ball player.
I know you're not. I don't want to twist that. I know you're not. But I also don't want to elevate what he was just because he died.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many players better than Pete Rose.
Wade Boggs led the league in hits 1 time.
Wade Boggs. What's his career average?
328.
Okay. Pete Rose is 303.
Yeah, I know. I
Not
get
even
it.
close.
I get it. Well,
what's Tony Gwynn?
oh, no, it is close.
No,
I mean,
328's close to 303.
it's 0.25 points.
Sal, how many hits is that over the course of a 20-year career?
Not enough. Pete Rose had more.
No, Sal. I'm saying, but like a 325 hitter versus a 303 hitter is like Joe Montana and Ryan Tannehill.
He led the league in hits once, Boggs. I'm not minimizing Boggs.
How many
I love
Silver
Boggs.
Sluggers does he have?
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Mike Schmidt. Didn't even mention Mike Schmidt.
I think Mike Schmidt's a better player.
He is.
Let's see.
George
Ripken.
Brett, better.
Cal Ripken. Led the league in hits a robust 1 time.
Okay, how many home runs does Cal Ripken have?
Yeah, but Pete's not a power hitter.
I know that. All he did was slap singles.
Cal Ripken, 276 career hitter.
I mean, listen. This is obviously subjective, although the stats aren't.
Cal Ripken never led the league in home runs.
I just think that there's a heightened perception of Pete because of the slides and the hustle, which I love guys who hustle. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking hustle. But, Pete Rose influenced the baseball game one way, by slapping singles.
Right, but
he didn't steal. He wasn't a great fielder. He didn't have power.
It just wasn't one way. The guy was
Yes,
his
it was
hustle,
one way.
No, on the base paths. I mean, everything Pete Rose did.
What?
He did whatever he could to win a ball game.
So I understand that. So did Jeter.
Yeah, well, and I love Jeter too.
You start a team tomorrow. You want Jeter or Rose?
I'm biased toward Jeter, but
Okay.
I'd probably take Jeter.
You want George Brett or Pete Rose?
Jeter led the league in hits at least twice.
I forget about the stats. Do you want George Brett or Pete Rose?
God, it's tough.
These
to
are easy
quantify.
questions to me.
Yeah, it's
you want Griffey or you want Pete Rose? DiMaggio or Pete Rose?
Well-
Mantle or Pete Rose?
Well, wait.
Babe Ruth or
okay,
Pete
well,
Rose?
how many World Series? Did
Hank Aaron or Pete Rose?
How many World Series did Griffey win?
None.
What about Brett?
Yeah, but that's the wrong sport to
Well-
bring up championships.
Well, but Pete Rose was a
First of
winner.
all, George Brett won.
Yeah. Okay. How many?
He's got 2, right?
No, 1.
You got the 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Pete
what?
Pete Rose was a
so you
three-time
give Brett,
champion.
if you give George Brett, Joe Morgan, I mean, come on, and Johnny Bench instead of Steve Alboni and Frank White at the end, he's got more.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's as good.
You seem shocked that I had this take on Pete Rose.
I'm actually legitimately shocked that you said Pete Rose is overrated.
He is. I've always thought that.
Interesting.
I swear to God,
we had this conversation.
This is not like, hot take, and I don't mean it to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
The man passed away, but it's not tragic because he's 83. 83 is a great life, and he brought on a lot of problems himself. But Pete Rose is not a top 20 player all time.
Joe was in St. James. What's up, Joe?
And not even close.
Hey, Sal. PT, I'm with you all day on this, man.
It's easy.
Listen, no one's taking away the guy's hustle and heart to drive, but BT, you echoed my sentiments on why I called. He wasn't even the best player on his team.
Nope.
You take Bench, you take Morgan, and you take Schmidt over Rose all day long.
100%.
What was, and thank you for the call, Joe.
Thanks,
Hop,
Joe.
you have some of the numbers there?
Just looking at like other guys from his team that are Joe Morgan's in the Hall of Fame, his batting average was 271.
Played a different position, couple of MVPs as well, power.
Johnny Bench 267.
Greatest catcher of all time.
That's fine, but just the point is when we're talking about hitting wise, going up there and finishing your career with 303 batting average, that's not a joke.
Well, obviously, that's why we had the discussion. But
Yeah.
let me ask you guys this. Now, there's no way to do this because we weren't, watching baseball in the 70s. I mean, Pete Rose coming to bat with 2 on, or Johnny Bench coming to bat with 2 on. Who are you afraid of? You're afraid of Johnny Bench.
Right.
What are you guys talking about? Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
Why?
Understood, but
Hold on. Can I just one second? Because I'm a guy who I think contact is key. If I'm going against a guy like Ichiro, who is clearly a guy, he might be a singles hitter, but he's going to find a way to continue the rally.
Yeah.
Pete Rose didn't do that?
No, he did, but Ichiro also stole 50 bases. Pete Rose didn't run. Ichiro had a rocket from right field. Pete Rose did not. There's other layers here, guys.
No, I get it, but again, if you're going to make contact and keep the ball moving for the next guy, okay.
I'm not trying to diminish it. I'm just placing value in other spots.
No, he does different things.
Understood.
My thing is, you're comparing him to other Hall of Fame, or he's not a Hall of Famer, obviously, Pete. He should be, but
he definitely should be.
Well, based on what he did on the baseball
He's
field.
not Ricky Henderson. You want Ricky or you want Pete Rose?
Yeah, but
who do you
again,
want? Who do you want?
Who
do you start a team? Ricky or Pete? Simple question.
I'm just not sure the
Who
argument.
do you want?
Nobody ever said that Pete Rose is the best player ever.
I think people.
You're saying that he's less than Hall of Famers.
No. I'm saying he's definitely a Hall of Famer. He should have been in years ago. But if we're going to attach definitive placement in the Hall of Fame, my placement of Pete Rose is a lot lower than yours.
Right.
And that's it. And others.
Right.
I think because of the grand total of the hits, I believe.
That's what he did, though.
I understand that.
That's what he did.
Okay, so.
He led the league. The league in hits 7 times.
Understood.
And you're just like,
No, I'm not doing that. But because he had 5,
but that was his strength.
But it was his only strength. But because he had 5, but
hitting
Sal,
the
think
baseball
about this.
is only strength.
Sal, because he had 500 or 600 more hits than some players. Think about what those other players had more than him. Hank Aaron.
Right.
It's not even close.
As far as home runs go, yeah.
As far as everything.
He led the league in hits 7. I mean,
Dude, he did. Why did Pete Rose play 5 positions? Because he wasn't great at anything.
The guy's a gamer.
I know he was a gamer.
How did he win an MVP?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure.
How did he win a World Series MVP?
Because he had the Big Red Machine, one of the most vaunted teams in the history of baseball.
And he wasn't even the best player on that team. But
he wasn't.
But somehow we won the World Series MVP. I don't know how.
Oh, come on, man. Scott Brosius just won the World Series MVP for the Yankees.
All right, well,
what does that mean?
Scott Brosius not a Hall of Famer.
Understood. But he won the MVP in the World Series.
I'm surprised. I mean, look, where does Pete Rose rank?
He's a top. Pete Rose, to me, including the players now, like from the beginning of time. Now, it's segregation, that makes it tricky. But from the time baseball was invented, in my opinion, I can make the case that Pete Rose is not even a top 50 player all time.
And a guy played 25 years, led the league and hit 7 times, finished with the career batting average of 303.
Okay.
World Series MVP, multiple World Series, 70 times.
I know the accolades, man.
I know, but I don't understand how that could be overrated. I mean, maybe it's just me because I just thought he was was one of the all-time greats.
I prioritize different things.
Right.
Like the more well-rounded nature to your game. Like, when I asked you, who would you rather have, Ricky or Pete Rose? For you to even think about it, it's stunning. It's Ricky.
Understood.
But you didn't answer me.
Because I just don't like the question. I don't think it's a fair question. What would I rather have?
But how else do we do that? LeBron and Jordan. These conversations always kind of, blow up into these hypotheticals. The only way to address this is with a hypothetical.
Different in basketball.
Nobody was scared of Pete Rose. He wasn't stealing. He wasn't taking a yard. What are you afraid of?
People were scared of Ricky? Come on.
What?
Nobody was scared of Ricky.
Nobody was afraid of Ricky Henderson?
When he gets on the bases, he can be scary, but
Dude,
everyone's scared of Ricky Henderson.
The moment Ricky dug in the box, the opponents were terrified. He was on third base. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, Ricky Henderson, a robust career, 279
Stop, because
batting
he
average.
played forever, and I mean,
so
come
did
on.
Pete Rose. He
Yeah,
played 24
I understand
years.
that. Yeah, he did. No, he did play forever. But, Ricky hung on. But, I mean, come on. Ricky at his apex he would destroy Pete Rose.
In what?
In
Stolen bases?
every
Sure.
facet of the game. In what?
Not hits.
Better fielder, better
even
run
close to
producer,
hits.
better run generator. Period.
Yeah.
Next question.
Not hits. I mean, it's selective.
Come on.
All right, BT and Sal on the fan. We'll come back, reset it, do the crown topic of the day.